Soul. Don't touch that dial. Don't go anywhere.
More music on trendybeats.com.
Everything you put your hand go walk. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Everything you put your hand go walk. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen. Every hustler getting paid. Where the hustle.
All right, every hustler getting paid. Whatever you put your hand, that will work for you. Okay, welcome to another interesting episode of Wealth Link Radio Program on 98.1 Salt FM Abakaliki. I know you've been waiting. Sincere apologies that we couldn't come on air on Tuesday. It was due to conspiracy of circumstances, but good enough, we are here. And Anthony, engineer Henry Ndoka Awurego is already seated, loaded for you this evening, and I want you to get your paper and pen so that you note important points that will help you to improve and be more productive wherever you find yourself. Okay, everybody has a calling, but when you discover your calling and you don't know how to go about it, it will be a problem to you. Okay, so sit back and relax and enjoy this episode of Wealth Link Radio Program on 98.1 Salt from Abakaliki. My name is Ugochukwu Onwe. Enjoy listening.
Welcome and God bless you, our great listeners in Wealth Link Radio Program. It is me, your friend and host, Henry Ndoka Awurego, the Director General, Scholars Chamber of Commerce and Industry, as well as a member of the Governing Council, Ebonyi State University. It is always my pleasure serving you on this platform, and I thank His Excellency Right Honorable Francis Ogbonnawifuru, who gave us this platform, and most especially I salute the courage of His Excellency in living up to his promise. Today is a special day. The Ebonyi State Executive Council is being constituted with the swearing in of our new commissioners. And if you look at the appointments, you will see that His Excellency is living up to his promise of bringing together both politicians and professionals. This is quite commendable, where you have both the practitioners from the private sector, from the professional bodies coming to join politicians to build our state. We commend His Excellency for this wonderful stride. Again, we will continue from where we stopped. In the last episode, we talked about how to bridge the gap between learning and earning, how to bridge the gap between employment and employability, how to bridge the gap between education and the industry, and how to bridge the gap between schools and skills. Today we will take the conversation further. We will take the conversation further in, first of all, looking at the benefit of bridging this gap and why we must bridge this gap. We are going to take a clue from what China did. So we will kind of model ourselves somehow after China, that did what we are looking up to doing in our state, in our will I say our nation. Yes, we will also look at taking a clue from their strategy, their global strategy, because when you want to acquire skills, you don't just acquire skills for immediate selfish gratification. No. If you do that, you will hit the rock. We are not going to be acquiring skills for just our own, how do I put it? For our own selfish use alone. We acquire skills with global mindset. For example, you don't just acquire skills for what you will use in your local government, in your community alone. You acquire skills for what you can do with those skills for the global relevance, for global benefits. And that is exactly what China did many years ago. And today you can see China trooping into Africa, almost taking over Africa. We're taking China, for example. So we discuss China today. First of all, ask yourself, why is China coming to Africa? Why is China coming to Nigeria? Why is China coming to Ebonyi State? Because they are penetrating everywhere. So far it is Africa, they are taking over everywhere. China is here with us not to advance their political ideologies or their religious ideologies. Remember I said they had already acquired various skills many years ago. So they are now taking over territories, conquering nations and continents. And why are they doing that? They are doing that for three major reasons. Or four major reasons. First of all, you know the population of China is quite huge. So they need to move out. They need to shift some of their populations to other continents of the world. That's number one reason. The second reason they are coming to us is because they want to control our resources. One of the greatest gifts of God in Africa generally is the gift of human resources and the gift of mineral resources. You don't find it the same in every other parts of the world. So they are here to control the resources. And then the third reason is that China is here to control the people of Africa, to control us, to control you and I. And of course, you know that they understand what it means to control the people. To control the people means to control the resources, to control the wealth, to control the money. And so you don't just move out looking for money, move out looking for people. When you look for people, money will come. The money is with the people. That's why you remember when they came with their OP ride, OP keke, OP motorcycle, and they were doing it at amazingly reduced rates. Okay, and people were thinking that they are just benefiting, not knowing that they were here to collect data, get who is who, your phone number, your account number, your everything. And today you can see we have the OPay Microfinance Bank, we have the OPay app, which you can use to save, withdraw, take money and all of that. So they are here to control the people. And then the fourth reason why they are here is to control the potentials, our possibilities, the future of Africa. They are almost taking over the future. And how do they do that? They do that by building railways in our land. They build roads for us. They provide rural electrifications. There is nothing they are not doing. They are giving us solar technology. They are even doing our minings for us. They are drastically changing our economic landscape in this 20th century. Between the year 2000 till date, Africa as a continent have borrowed almost $200 billion from China. And recently, China is even pledging to give more billions of dollars to African nations that will be willing to take. And so that is why you have the China-Africa Cooperation. The Chinese superficially appear to maintain a mutually beneficial relationship with Africa by providing finance, by providing technical assistance, by providing pressing developmental needs, like I mentioned before, railway, roads, different constructions going on by the African construction companies. So trade between China and Africa is growing. You know, starting from 10 billion US dollars in 2000. Today we are talking about over 200 billion dollars. And it is estimated that 12% of Africa industrial production, or let me say about $500 billion annually, which is nearly half of Africa's internationally contracted construction market, is being carried out by Chinese firms. So that's the capacity of China in Africa, and it's something you cannot neglect. But why are we saying this? We are saying this to buttress the point that it is important to give people skills. And remember, in my last episode I said, for you to evaluate if you have a skill, number one, you check the training you have acquired. Number two, you check the technology you are using. Number three, you look at the tools you are using to trap the technology. And number four, you check your techniques. That's the first 4 T's in our 12 T's. Remember, the 12 T's has to do with training, technology, tools, techniques. That first 4 gives you skill. Then you now use the skill to enter the 5th T, which is trade. Trading, I have said it severally on this platform, that it is beyond buying and selling. Trading is exchange of values. What do you have to exchange for what you need? You see China coming to sign MOUs, agreements with African nations, telling them, look, don't even give us money, just sign an MOU. We're giving you this grant, we're giving you this loan, and if you fail to pay between so and so time to so and so time, we'll take over your resources. They've taken over resources in Kenya. Okay, so we need to understand that. And so when our political leaders are dancing because Chinese are bringing loans, let's be careful. Let's be careful in our states as drivers of our economies, as the pilots, in ministries, departments and agencies, parastatals, what have you. Let's be very careful with the MOUs we are signing, because you may be handing over the future generation to people you don't know. So, we are not going to talk about how these MOUs are being abused, but we are more interested in how we can come out of this mess, how we can develop ourselves. Because I've said it time without number that there is a difference between growth and development. We may be growing, but are we developing? The answer is no. You may have grown like an Iroko tree. You may have grown to have a population of over 200 million people, but can you really say that you have developed? So what's the difference? The difference is that growth is increase in size, while development is increase in capacity. Growth is increase in size. Development is increase in capacity. So what is our capacity? What can we do with what we have? How can we solve the problem of the world, not just our own problem? And that's why I keep recommending on this platform that in as much as we are still battling with industrial incapacitation, orchestrated by poor leadership, orchestrated by poor power supply, we don't have power to produce products that can be exported. Let's leverage on our population. In Ebonyi State, we are almost more than 4 million people. Can we really continue to manage these 4 million people the way they are? Why do we continue to endure the fact that only politics is the industry in Ebonyi State? Why can't we get our people together, give them hot in-demand skills, sign MOUs with other nations of the world that are looking for people that will come to solve one problem or the other? Problems of data analysis, problems of even taking care of old people, problems of nanny, problems of customer service, customer relationship, problems of office management, problems of environmental management, that is climate change and all of that. We look at skills that we can give to our people and export them to go render those services. You have done service export, and in return the state can get what we call diaspora remittances, because by the time those people are working, they are sending just very minimum percentage of their income back to the state, and you use that to grow your own economy here. India did it many years ago. Chinese did it, and they are still doing it even up till this moment. Why can't we use our population to do that? And the Scholars Chamber of Commerce can help in driving that. We have made proposals. We've sent it to different relevant bodies, and we are looking out for partnership, individual partnership, organizational partnership, governmental partnership, to drive this revolution. Otherwise, we continue to be a prey instead of being a predator. I will be right back, and by God's grace, we will sell an idea of an upcoming event that will help to reposition our people. God bless you as you wait till we come back.
More music on trendybeats.com.
Everything you put your hand go walk. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen. Amen.
You're welcome back. We've been discussing on how to model the Chinese system of skill development, so that we will not continue to be prey to the Chinese. Rather, we need to become our own predator. We need to take our own stand. We need to develop our people. We need to begin to take our global relevance out of our space to other spaces. People are looking for Africans. We are hardworking people, especially here in Ebonyi State. We have a lot of people who are very honest, who are hardworking, who are talented. But how do we translate it to global relevance? We need to take example from China. And if we don't do that now, we are already in for something that we will regret, and our children will regret. Of course, you know that Chinese coming here to construct our roads and build our industries and even mine our mineral resources. They are not really doing it with our people. Okay? You see Chinese firms bringing in their own drivers. It is as bad as that. They are bringing in their construction workers. They are bringing in their support staff. They are denying these employment opportunities to us, Africans. Even in Ebonyi State here. And most often, they live apart from our society. In fact, in some countries like in Kenya, they're already building their own police stations. Imagine that, bringing in their police from China to come and police us. It was so will I say, annoying to me. Sorry about that, but I must have to tell you the truth, that in one of the occasions, I even discovered in the streets of Abuja that there is a China Chamber of Commerce in Nigeria. You can't have Nigerian Chamber of Commerce in China. It's not possible. The highest you can do is to have Nigeria-China bilateral Chamber of Commerce. But here, they have their own Chamber of Commerce, controlling the resources that our people should be controlling. All of these are the things that should motivate us to know that they are not here to help us. They are here to use us. They are here to exploit us. And these activities are just, the activities I've mentioned are just very little example of China's abusive behavior in our land. Africa endured colonialism or colonization, and even endured neo-imperialism for hundreds of years. Just as Africa has freed itself from those bonds, it needs to work with the West and other states to provide alternatives to China money and China infrastructure. Very important. And you are privileged today as a Ebonyian to hear what I am saying and even do further research on what China is doing in Africa. Okay? The greatest threat Africa faces today is what we call Sino-imperialism. It is now in danger of being captured by China's sinister Sino-imperialism that will keep Africa from entering its renaissance, from entering into her possibilities. And we just have to say no. Saying no is not about just speaking grammar. Saying no is acquire relevant skills. Empower yourself. Politicians should understand the true meaning of empowerment. Empowerment is not giving people money. Empowerment is not giving people keke napep. Empowerment is not giving people even land to build. Empowerment is changing the mindset of the people, making the people to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Giving people ideas, giving people opportunities, platform to showcase their innovation, to showcase their ideas, and then buying into those ideas and industrializing those ideas and exporting those ideas. That is what we mean by global skills and services export. And that's what China did. That's what they are doing. That's what Indians are doing. And today, India, they are benefiting from it. The Prime Minister of UK today is an Indian, because India intentionally in the 90s exported their skills to various parts of the world. Now, before I conclude today, I must tell you what we are doing in the Scholars Chamber of Commerce, both in partnership with other bodies of the world and independently. There is a program that will be coming up, and it will be taking us to New York in America, United States of America, in the month of September. It's almost at hand. And that's a program that is titled Sub-Saharan Africa Business and Investment Summit 2023. It will be holding in New York, USA. And let me use this opportunity on behalf of Scholars Chamber of Commerce and Industry to invite suitably qualified members of the chamber. If you are not yet a member of the chamber, you can go to the CAS campus of EBSU and meet our admin there to register you. If you are in Enugu, you can go to our center in Godfrey Okoye University, Thinkers Corner Enugu, and get registered, because this event is for fellow members of the Scholars Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So, to join the trip to New York, USA for this Sub-Saharan African Business and Investment Summit, I would like to tell you that the event date is September 25th, 2023, and the time there in US will be between 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. in the evening. It will be a whole day event, and it will continue like for 1 week, because after the main event on the 25th, you will have the opportunity of interacting with various captains of industry from various parts of the world. The venue of that event will be at the Ziegfeld Ballroom, New York City, USA. For those of us who will be interested to join Scholars Chamber of Commerce to this event, you will be scheduled to join with other Africa's decision makers that will be gathering in New York. You will also join global investors, government officials like governors, ministers, C-suite business executives, private investors, state delegates. A state can say, okay, let my commissioners, so and so commissioners should join. You industry leaders, startups. I'm very, very interested in this one. Startups, that is, if you are even a new beginner in business, you can actually join this trip. Even multilateral banks and trade agencies and other stakeholders will be joining to meet in New York in September. That is September 25th, 2023, under this very platform. Now, the theme of this year's summit is Africa, the next frontier. We need to discuss Africa, and that is why there will be an extensive list of speakers that will be in attendance. It will feature conferences, it will feature seminar and workshops, it will feature plenary sessions, business to business matchmaking, networking, Or remember that I've always said that it is your network that determines your net worth. That's why we spend money to attend these kind of programs, because we want to network. We want to make contact. It's those contact that gives contract, not otherwise. Now, let me give you some of the benefits of attending, because I'm very sure and I'm expecting some people in Ebonyi State to put in whatever it will take them to be in this event. Benefit number one is that you will meet and connect with world-class investors who are looking for strategic partnerships and investment deals in Africa, in Nigeria, in Ebonyi State. You will also, as benefit number two, you will increase your personal and corporate portfolio. That is, your profile will increase because you cannot meet with this kind of people and hear from them and not change your mindset. The third benefit is that you have access to private meetings with high net worth individuals. That is how some of us became distributors of some international goods, became company representatives for global companies in Africa. So you can be lucky or favored to meet such opportunities in this event. The fourth benefit is that you have the opportunity to learn about the ease of doing business and how to invest in Africa. Of course, we'll be telling the world how Africa is ready to welcome business people. That's what we do when we go out of this country. We tell people how Ebonyi State is fertile for investment. You will also meet face to face with Africa's decision makers. Like if I tell you some of the speakers, you see some of the presidents. President of Rwanda will be there. The president of Zimbabwe, the president of Angola. These are the kind of people you are going to meet in one room to discuss opportunities in Africa. You will also be you will also benefit from the on-site business matchmaking. Take for example, you are into poultry farming, and then we have companies in America that produce poultry feed, and we do matchmaking. We say, okay, look, this man is from Ebonyi State. He's into poultry farming. Can you now make him a distributor of your poultry feed? Are you seeing the opportunity there now? So that's some of the opportunities you stand to get. For other details of this event, you can go to our center and meet with our admins. If you are in Ebonyi, you can go to the CAS campus of Scholars Chamber of Commerce and Industry, the CAS campus of Ebonyi State University. You will see our office just around the pre-degree block. You will see our billboard there, and then make inquiries, get the form, fill the form so that your visas can be processed on time, and then you'll be part of this event. It will cost you money, so it is not for everybody. It's not for students. It's not even for people who don't have good bank account. It's for people like captains of industry, people that have gotten some ideas and they have raised some capital to start their business. Even if you will spend all you have to be in this event, it will be worth it, because a lot of people have testimonies of just crossing the borders to meet with their destiny helpers. And who knows whether this will be an opportunity for somebody like you. I appreciate you for your listening attention. Remember that you have to bridge the gap. You have to bridge the gap between where you are and where you ought to be. You have to bridge the gap between poverty and prosperity. You have to bridge the gap between learning and earning. If what I have said is beneficial, you can connect with me on my Facebook page. Henry Ndoka Aworego is on Facebook. Just type my name, you will see me. Google my name. You can also check my website, www.henryndokaAworego.com. You can also check the website of Scholars Chamber of Commerce. That's www.scholarschamberofcommerce.com. Till next episode, I love you. Let's make our society better. God bless you.
Sure, we will make our society better. That's a parting word from Engineer Henry Ndoka Awurego, the CEO and Director General of Scholars Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And it's been a wonderful time out with him on this episode of WealthLink Radio Program on 98.1 Salt FM, Abakaliki. Like he said, let's meet again next week, Tuesday, by 5 p.m. My name is Ugochukwu Onwe.
You put your hand, go up. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen, amen. Every hustler getting paid. Where the hustle go come the pay. Your own in no go take. Amen. If you define work to your own, God self go do his own. And flesh go cover bone. Amen, amen. If you believe it, say amen. If you believe it, say amen. If you believe it, say amen. 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 Everything you put your hand go on. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss. Amen.